I swear on my life, what I'm about to tell you really happened in my school. And I am not the kind of girl who jokes with things like this. It was a Tuesday morning, just after break. The bell rang, and a teacher shouted across the corridor, "Everyone to the assembly hall. Principal is calling an emergency meeting." We all grumbled but started walking there. It wasn't strange, we'd had surprise assemblies before. Some people were laughing, some were dragging their feet. Me, I was just curious. My stomach was still full from puff-puff I bought during break, and honestly, I thought the whole thing was just another random announcement. I remember clearly, my friend Chuka even said, maybe they finally caught those boys stealing meat from the kitchen. We laughed, thinking it was another one of those boring lectures about discipline. Another girl beside me groaned, "I hope it's not about cutting our hair again." Everybody had their guesses, and honestly, that was the normal part. That's why I didn't think twice about it. But when we got inside, the hall was packed. I mean, everyone was there, from the smallest juniors to the seniors. And that was already odd, because our hall couldn't usually fit all of us at once. Yet somehow, that day, we were crammed in with no space to even breathe properly. I could feel the sweat of the girl beside me sticking to my arm. Another strange thing, no one had microphones set up, no chairs for the teachers, not even the national flag like they usually put out during assemblies. The walls looked damp, like water had been leaking for days, and there was a smell, dust mixed with something faintly rotten, like food gone bad. My chest tightened, but I tried to ignore it. Still, we stood there, waiting. Then the doors behind us clicked shut. At first, I thought it was just the janitor locking it so latecomers wouldn't sneak in. But when some boys tried to push it open, it wouldn't budge. They shoved harder, then kicked it, and the sound echoed through the hall like metal, not wood. People started murmuring, then whispering. "Why is it locked? What's going on?" You could hear nervous laughs here and there, but everyone's voice had a crack in it. The stage curtains moved, and the principal walked out. Only, it didn't look like him. It had his face, yes. It had his suit, his bald head, his glasses. But his smile was stretched too wide, like someone had painted it on. He didn't blink once as he looked across the crowd. And the strangest thing of all, his shoes didn't make a sound on the wooden floor as he walked. The real principal always stomped when he came out, everyone knew his heavy steps. This one floated, almost. I felt my nails dig into my palm. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. He raised his hand, and the whole hall went quiet. Then he spoke. The sound wasn't human. It was like 5 people talking at once, deep, scratchy, and echoing. It rattled in my chest like a drum. I don't even remember the words, but I know they weren't English. Or any language I've ever heard. Some students clutched their ears in pain. One girl fainted right beside me, hitting the ground with a thud. Her friends screamed, but nobody bent to carry her. Everyone was frozen stiff, like our bodies weren't listening to us anymore. I wanted to scream too, but my throat locked up. It felt like something invisible was pressing down on me, holding me in place. My palms were wet, and my legs shook like they weren't mine. I could hear my heart thumping in my ears, but I couldn't even move a finger. That was when I realized something worse. Not everyone around me was real. The students in the back row, their faces were blank. Like drawings without details. Just shadows wearing uniforms. They didn't move the way people move. They didn't blink. They didn't whisper. They just swayed slightly, like grass in a breeze. I swear, I almost lost my mind. My stomach turned cold, and I remember thinking, if this is a dream, please let me wake up now. Please. The voice on stage grew louder, overlapping, like a radio tuning into different stations at once. My vision blurred, and the lights above the hall flickered. That's when the shadowy students turned their heads toward us all at once. The sound of their necks moving, like sticks snapping, still makes me shiver when I think about it. I felt tears burn my eyes. The boy next to me whispered, "This is not real, this is not real," but the words didn't make it better. My whole body was begging me to run, but my feet felt nailed to the ground. Suddenly, the hall went dark. Pitch black. No sound. No movement. I blinked once, and I was back in my classroom. Teacher writing on the board. Everyone sitting like nothing happened. My desk was cold with sweat under my palms. I sat there for a full minute, not breathing, waiting for someone else to say something. Finally, I asked the boy next to me if he remembered the assembly. He just looked at me funny. "What assembly?" I laughed nervously, thinking maybe it was just me. But when I glanced at the door, I swear the same heavy click I heard in the hall echoed faintly in the corridor. Up till today, no one in that school talks about it. Some of them look at me like I'm crazy when I bring it up. But I know what I saw. And sometimes, when the bell rings too sharp, I still hear that voice inside my chest. Like it's waiting for us to gather again.